Alright, here we are for the comic reviews for April 15th, 2009. We had a pretty good week this week, a nice mix of Marvel books. Well, the onslaught of the X-Men have returned. I have no idea why Marvel doesn't pace those books. Well, if I've already opened the X-Men bag, let's jump straight into it with X-Force 42. Now, another issue of X-Force has come out. I jumped back onto X-Force with issue 39, the one with the baby on the cover. And if you read that, man, X-Force just keeps getting better. Everything's really been tying into that Lila Miller one-shot they had a while back. If you dropped X-Force because it was more boring than any other book you were reading, it's time to come back. It's $2.99. It's a great $2.99 book that you should definitely be checking out. It's great to see some creativity back in comics. Next off, for the other part of the X Onslaught, we have Uncanny XMen 508. Now, Greg Land is back on art duty, so everybody looks like a pinup idol, especially Psylocke, which, man, looks absurd. Anyway, Uncanny X-Men is still suffering from the same problems. I'm pretty sure, Matt Fraction is writing it. It still feels like a Burbaker issue. They try to do too much in too many separate ways, so the book really feels like nothing is happening. The White Queen and Colossus arc is moving into snail space. The Beast arc, nothing interesting enough happens in an issue. I mean, he explained the damn M-Day thing again in this issue. That is not entertaining. Everybody and their brother at this point has had M-Day beaten into themselves. I mean, they have to be focusing on something else. And it's so hard to remember. Oh yeah, and the whole Red Queen thing is not that interesting. I mean, it seems to start to be picking up, but then the book ends. I guess if you're a Psylocke fan, you might want to jump in. It looks like they're going to be doing some major changes to Psylocke's character, and maybe even getting rid of one of the big plot twists, or not twists, but one of the big things that's happened to Psylocke's character. Moving on, the final X book of the week was XMen Legacy 222. Another solid book for X-Men Legacy. I really haven't been blown away by Legacy in a while, but this whole Rogue arc has been... Well, if you're a Rogue fan, you got to be loving this. And hey, Gambit and Xavier are there for the fun as well. This is the penultimate issue of the whole Rogue Xavier Gambit arc, and it's going to be coming to a close next week. Huge changes for the character of Rogue, so definitely check that out. It's about the only book. If you're only going to buy one X book, make it Legacy. It is the best X book there is. Next up on the Marvel front, Marvel had a big week this week. DC's going to be short again. Next up on the Marvel front is Captain America 49. We're almost at issue 50, and Burbaker is still going strong. This issue focused on Sharon Carter. As we all know, she's the woman who shot Captain America a couple of times and killed him. So this is dealing with kind of what she's really recovering from. I don't want to spoil too much. I know I give away a lot of things on this show, but definitely check it out. It's another solid book, and I mean, this thing is going to read great when it's all collected. Burbaker's entire run is going to be a bit of a treasure once it is completed. I'm really impressed. Can't say it enough. Really impressed. Let's move on to Icon, which is basically, I think that's part of Marvel. That's like their adult line. Anyway, I picked up Incognito number 3. Now, I can't remember reading Incognito number 2, but I'm pretty sure I did. Number 3 picks up where I can only assume 2 left off, and it's great. You get some really great action moments in this book. The main character continues to develop in, I guess not really interesting ways. I mean, a villain becoming a hero is, I mean, we've seen that story before, but this goes off without it really feeling repetitive or annoying. The side character's good. It still feels like a nice, good criminal book, and I am looking forward to more of this. Ava Destruction looks like she's going to be a real fun character. Cool superhero fight. Definitely check this out. Not for kids. No, what comic is for kids these days? Moving on to DC side of things, we have one book. It is the Green Lantern Corps 35. I can't even begin to tell you how much I loved this book. It's the only DC book I'm reviewing this week, and it's also my pick of the week. It is great. You get tons of story in this, and we finally really get some huge, mind-blowing kind of moments for the Green Lantern Corps. One of my problems with the Green Lanterns in general, even under the watchful eye of Jeff Johns, is that these are intergalactic police. I mean, these are people that are supposed to be protecting sectors, not planets. I mean, this isn't somebody who is supposed to be dealing with a planet that gets caught up in planetary issues. These rings should be powerful enough that they handle, I don't know, every hour they should be able to fly through a solar system. It should be that quick, that precise. And one of the images you get in this, in particularly a giant snake, a Sinestro snake around Draxum, I really dug that image, and that's one of the kind of scope that I think that the Green Lantern Corps really needs. Some truly dark moments involving the Draxumites too. Sotomayor really comes off as a great character, and I cannot wait to see where this is going. They are starting to show where some of the Green Lanterns are going to be ending up. I think there's going to be a huge, let's just use a big word, a diaspora from the Green Lantern Corps, where a lot of the main characters that we've seen in the Corps and a lot of the side characters, for if people are just reading the Green Lantern books, are going to turn into multicolored lanterns. Who has now been, a character is revealed to be Sinestro's daughter. I believe she's going to end up being a Hope Lantern. And I don't know, they even kind of reveal that another one of the Green Lanterns might actually turn to Rage or something of the such. It's an interesting book. I'm really excited, and it's a perfect supplement for Green Lantern fans. And I've also heard, for someone who got their hands on the Free Comic Book Day Green Lantern book, that Blackest Night starts out with a bang. So I cannot wait for that. That'll be next week with Free Comic Book Day, so look for that. Since I only have one review, let me give 2 quick honorable mentions. Action Comics. I mean, there's way too much, like, guess who this is going on in comics right now, so I'll spoil the surprise in hopes that'll get you to start reading the book. Nightwing and Flamebird. Flamebird, unimportant. She's just a Kryptonian woman. But Nightwing is actually Chris Kent, Zod's son that Superman raised during the first arc that Jeff Johns did on Superman, the one that took like 3 years to come out and was only 5 issues. He is, ever since he went to the Phantom Zone, he's mutated and he's continually growing older, faster. So he's currently, I guess, in his 20s. Definitely check this out. This book is really neat and probably the best Superman of the Superman family books. So check it out. It's really cool. And the other honorable mention is Rebels. I'm pretty sure this book is going to get canceled pretty soon, but definitely check it out. Tony Bedard is writing or Bernard, I can't remember his last name, is writing a great dark story, kind of a Brainiac #2 is an interesting main character, and a lot of the stuff that he is doing in the name of justice is interesting. Check it out if you have some extra money. I mean, the first 3 issues are out. You'll probably be able to find them on the wall of your comic book store. It's good sci-fi stuff. Good sci-fi stuff. And now the final book I have, I kept saying that I wasn't going to buy this book, and I'm done. That Warren Ellis is no longer going to be my unquestioning master in terms of what books I'm going to buy. I mean, I seem to go from one for one. My Grant Morrison days are over, even though I did buy Sea Guy. But Warren Ellis has kind of been my be-all, be-all. I mean, I still pick up Dr. Sleepless. And I thought that with Ignition City, I was going to draw the line. Well, I came in under budget, and instead of saving my money, I bought an extra book, and this time it was Ignition City #1. I gotta say, I liked it pretty good. I mean, you can really tell it's written by Warren Ellis at this point. His style is indistinguishable. I mean, you can really tell a Warren Ellis book from the dialogue. I mean, they're shitting and pissing in this book. Check it out. It's really it's an interesting kind of the failure of the space age. The failure of the age of Buck Rogers and all that kind of thing. So, check it out. It seems pretty cool. I'm not quite sure. Hopefully he's written it all in advance and it's going to come out and it's a miniseries. It's not something like Dr. Sleep that's going to drag on forever. Alright, well that's the reviews for this week. I got some surprises in store on, next week. Let's not make any serious promises. Next week. So see you next week.